30-06 John here, and today what I want to talk about are some tips to help. One of those things that could really ruin a hunt is a scope going bad right before you're going hunting or when you are hunting. So keep on watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. I was at the local range here yesterday, and after I was done shooting, I was inside the range house just talking with the officers working there, and a couple of hunters from the lower 48 came in. They're asking questions about if they could mail order a scope up to Alaska and whatever. And what happened is they just got off the plane that day. They came to the range to verify the zero on their rifles, and one of the rifles, the scope, was failing on them. Every time they shot, the scope got blurrier. They couldn't adjust it, and basically the scope was unusable. So they ran around. They actually ended up going to the local sporting goods store, Bass Pro. They're able to get a new scope and get it bore-sighted and whatever. But that always doesn't work out that way. A lot of times you're out in the field at a remote place, or you're out hunting and something happens to your scope and, causes problems. So let's talk about a few tips to recover from that. Probably one of the easiest options, if your rifle is set up for it, is just to take the scope off and use your iron sights, like this Marlin in 450 Marlin. Let me zoom in here real fast. This mount is quick release rings right here. You just unscrew them, twist them, unscrew them, and take the scope right off. You can do this in the field. I have done it in the field. When you put it back on and tighten it up, point of impact might change, but if I have to pull this scope off, that means something failed on the scope, or I'm in a situation where I'm not worried about my best accuracy. And like I said, you could just switch to your iron sights. There's a few hunters I know that all of their main hunting rifles have iron sights. They don't like the new trend of not having iron sights on hunting rifles, just for this reason: if the scope fails. Another option is to bring another scope with you on your hunt. Doesn't really help you when you're hunting, but if you have a spare scope back at camp, you could swap it out. I did that when I went to Africa. Had a spare scope already in rings. I actually sighted the rifle in with the spare scope. Then I took it off and put my main hunting scope on and sighted in the gun with that scope. So this scope was already sighted in. All I had to do, if something happened to my main scope, unscrew it, bolt this one on, and I'm good to go. Also, you need some tools. A couple things that I do. I take a driver handle like this. It's empty in the handle. Throw in the bits that you need. Or you can get one of these Swiss Army knife type of toolkits for guns. Another option is just to bring another spare rifle. For one person, that's, you have added weight and everything. But if it's 2 or 3 people on a hunt, bringing a spare rifle, of course, leave it back at camp. Something happens to a rifle out in the field, go back to camp, grab the spare rifle. I know some people that do this also. As long as we're talking about keeping your hunting trip going and not having problems, and I've seen this happen to hunters multiple times, bring a spare one of these. I'm not going to say what it is because YouTube might give me a nasty mark, but a lot of rifles now, they have detachable ones. I've seen people either forget them or leave them, or they lose them out in the field and they don't have a spare. That's one advantage of a hinged floor plate style. You can't lose this. But always bring at least one extra of these. I hope these tips help you. Good luck hunting. Everyone stay safe. Have a nice day. And thanks for watching.